Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to another installment of what I do here, the HTFL. We only have, let's see here, four more games of the first round, four quarterfinals, two semifinals. We've got 11 games left, so I hope you enjoyed this season. I am recording this a little after 4 o'clock on December 27th, 2020 for broadcast initially at 7:30 p.m. on the 28th of December. And as I've mentioned in several other episodes, I try to do things a day in advance because you never know what problems you might run into. You might have to edit something, and so forth and so on. I try to do this all in one take, but sometimes that doesn't work out, as I experienced during the season. Sometimes you put the wrong upload up, and sometimes this happens, and sometimes that happens. Like I was doing franchise hockey manager this morning, as I record this morning, yesterday morning by the time you see this. There we go with that again. And I forgot to turn my microphone down. It was like this. So I joined that game in progress. So if you saw that, my apologies. Bucks are in the playoffs, first time in 13 years. It's the first time ever here in Tampa Bay that all three of the professional franchises have made the playoffs all in the same year. The Bucks made the playoffs. The Lightning made the playoffs back in the spring or sometime in the spring. And let me turn my volume down because I was watching the Pittsburgh Baltimore game on not Pittsburgh Baltimore, Pittsburgh and Indianapolis, who oddly enough we're going to have on the HTFL today against Carolina in a Southern semifinal. So if you heard that, my apologies, and hopefully the YouTube police were doing something else. I also want to give best wishes to Ron Juckett, who said he had a food poisoning incident over the holidays. So my best wishes to him and his wife. And he was mentioning that on his channel as I record this earlier in the afternoon. And yeah, you know, the world. Hopefully, it wasn't anything negligent, but everything going on in the world, you never know. Of course, we had that incident in Nashville with the RV that was used as an explosive device. Best wishes to the people of Nashville, and and so forth. So the world goes on, and so will we. Stand by, folks. We're getting underway here in about 10 seconds. Big Polly's World of Sports Sims proudly presents our fifth first round playoff game in the divisional semifinals. Today it's 7 and 9 Indianapolis battling 8 and 8 Carolina for the chance to advance. Nobody in the Southern Conference did better than 8 and 8 this season. So we're going to have a team from the Southern Conference in a couple of weeks. Will be guaranteed the fourth seed in the championship semifinals when we get to that round, starting on the 11th, and then we will wrap up the season, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise on January 15th. So Indianapolis and Carolina doing battle. Indianapolis and Carolina split their preseason, not preseason, but regular season games. It is not September in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're playing under January conditions, 59 degrees, which is rather balmy for Charlotte this time of year. I once lived in Charlotte and they got 10 inches of snow on a day no one was expecting snow. Indianapolis will be controlled by the computer. I'm going to control Carolina. Carolina wins the toss and will receive. I always like to get the football to start a game, although sometimes just out of randomness, I like to defer. It's going to be Peyton Manning against Cam Newton, Tony Dungy, and John Fox on the opposing sidelines. Goodson, Oliver, and Stewart back deep for Carolina in their blue uniforms. Colts in their white. The Colts represent the Colts from the time they moved from Baltimore to Indianapolis, 1984 or so onward. And we're underway. Of course, Carolina has been to a couple of Super Bowls, hasn't won any yet. Goodson returned it 30 yards to the 32, and he went out of bounds, so nobody tackled him. Setting up the offense for Carolina, and then we'll get to their first play. It's Williams and Goings. D'Angelo Williams had a fine year for the Panthers in the HTFL. Smith and Muhammad are your wideouts. Olsen is the tight end. Newton is the quarterback. It's Gross, Norwell, Khalil, Wharton, Brockemeyer as your offensive line, and Williams should probably like that right side. So we'll go to the right side because that's where the tight end is. But there's a blitz coming. Screen it to Williams instead on 1st and 10. And that was well covered by the Indianapolis defense for an incompletion. Setting up the Indianapolis defensive 11. It's Freeney and Mathis, Saragusa and Brock, your front four. Saragusa and Brock are only 6s in the game. They rate all defenders from 1 to 10, and if you have a 10, you're in good shape, and if you have a 1, you're probably not doing too well. Bickett, Brackett, and Washington are the linebackers. Buchanan and Daniel, Bennett and Sanders are your defensive backs. So pretty much Carolina has an open playbook here. They could pretty much do a lot of things. It's like making gumbo. You could do it a lot of ways as long as you do certain things right. Sweep with Williams on 2nd and 10. And this is D'Angelo Williams into the secondary. Blew by a couple of defenders on his way to a 29-yard gain. Washington made the tackle for the Colts. And we will look at Carolina's roster real fast. Only one injury. That is to Kelvin Benjamin, number 81, out of Florida State. And it's a 1st and 10. Panthers at the 39 of Indianapolis. Looking to go 3 wide, but they said, no, we better just stick with a base formation. Fly to Machine Muhammad on 1st and 10. Good rush, but an incomplete pass, and Cam Newton has started 0 for 2 on the day. We're going to use him to run the ball on a dive. Of course, Newton now with the Patriots, a gain of 3.
Holding offense, number 69, 10-yard penalty.
That is Gross. A person named Gross, not the act of being gross. That's a holding penalty. 2nd now and 20 for the Panthers, who got their start in the league in 1995. Screen to D'Angelo Williams, one of the 2 expansion teams. And D'Angelo trapped for a loss of 3 by Bickett. And now you got 3rd and 23 coming up, and Cam Newton's going to have to really put some air under the ball here. There goes Steve Smith. Here's the throw, and it's an incompletion. You also had Brandon LaFell in the game as a 3rd wide receiver, and the Panthers will have to punt. Here is Nortman. The line of scrimmage being the 48. We'll just kick it deep and hope it's not a touchback. It's not. No, it is. It is, and now the Colts get it at the 20. With 12:40 to go in the opening quarter. It is Falk and Johnson, your running backs. That's Marshall Falk, Anthony Johnson, Harrison, and Wayne are the base wide receivers. Dallas Clark is the tight end. Banding the quarterback, it is Hinton, Lilia, Saturday, Solt, and Glenn serving as the offensive line. We'll get to Carolina's defense in just a moment. We got 2 10s on their defense. The 1st and 10 play shows Manning dropping back. Dallas Clark wide open for a 22-yard gain. Carolina's defense, Peppers, Rutgers, Jenkins, and Short are the up front 4, Peppers being a 10. Davis, Kuechley, and Beeson are the linebackers. Kuechley is a 10. Norman and Gamble, Minter, and Harris are your defensive backs. And on 1st and 10, we'll see if the Colts can do it again. To Clark, another 9-yard pickup, so Dallas Clark starting off with considerable relish. 2 players out today for the Colts, Calvin Hayden and Jarrell Freeman. 2nd and 1 at the 49. Indianapolis the 3 seed and Carolina the 2. Loss of 3. Short making the tackle for the Panthers to set up a 3rd and 4 at the Colts' own 48. This is going to be a first down, and that goes to Falk on a draw. Marshall Falk picks up 12, a first and 10 at the Carolina 40. Of course, Marshall Falk out of San Diego State, better known for playing with the Rams in that greatest show on turf era when they won the Super Bowl in '99 and lost to the upstart Patriots in 2001. Loss of a yard as Falk was nailed by Kuechly. A second and 11 at the 41. Falk again, close to the first down marker, picking up 10, and Beeson making the tackle for Carolina. 8:50 left. Opening quarter, a third and 1 at the 31. This is a Southern Conference semifinal. Incomplete pass there as Manning tried play action. And no receiver near it. Lucky he didn't get intentional rounding penalty there. 4th and 1 at 31. Here's a field goal attempt from 48. Pushed left and no good. That was by Mike Vanderjagt, who Vanderjacked it left. And we go to Carolina with the ball again. If you see that, I said Mike. Yep, his first name was Mike, all right. Carolina with the ball. They don't trail yet because nobody has scored yet. We are dead even, no score. 8:06 left, first quarter. Back to Williams, D'Angelo Williams with a 3-yard gain. Slant to Steve Smith. One of the receivers in recent years named Steve Smith. That was incomplete. That's a 3rd and 7. How about a screen to Smith here? Try to throw Indianapolis off guard. And Smith gets the first down and more. In the Indianapolis territory, a pickup of 20. So it's 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Ball at the 39 of Indy. They will again look to D'Angelo. Trap left. He finds a hole into the secondary, a pickup of 14. Now, 1st and 10 at the 25. I think it would be a good time to use the play action. Look for Muhammad here. Incomplete. Looking for Muhammad, but not finding him. Pitch to D'Angelo on 2nd and 10. He gets back to the line and gains a yard, actually. Mathis making the tackle. So as Mo Howard would say, the Panthers spread out on 3rd and 9 from the 24. I wonder if AMC still does the Three Stooges marathon on New Year's Eve. Oh well. Medium fly to Muhammad. I guess I'll know in a few days. Gain of 4.
Defense, number 53, 10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
That was a dump pass to Williams, but then Washington commits a personal foul. That would have gotten the Colts off the field, that play, but with a personal foul, they stay on. 1st and goal at the 10. We'll see what Nick Goings can do. It'll be a short pass to him on 1st down. He's got it, and he's got 6. Touchdown. Panthers. Six nothing, about to be 7 if the point after is good, and it is by Josh Sly. When I put the roster together for Carolina, I did not have a kicker for Carolina, so I just borrowed Sly because he kicked for Carolina in 2019. 7-0 in favor of Carolina, 4:40 left. Opening quarter, it's Wilkins, Verdun, and Bentley back deep. Remember Verdun from when he played with the Houston Gamblers of the USFL and Jim Kelly. 1st and 10 at the 20. Manning to throw, looking for Clark.
Holding, offense, number 78, 10-yard penalty.
That's Glenn committing a holding penalty, so the result of an incompletion will be negated, and the Panthers will take the 10-yard holding penalty. Now at the 10-yard line, it's 1st and 20. Manning throwing a short pass to Falk, which gains 3 yards. T.Y. Hilton comes in as a third wideout on 2nd and 17 from the 13. This is the throw. This is a catch. to Falk, a gain of 10 yards. 3rd and 7 at the 23. We are in the final third, I guess you could say, of the first quarter with 3:24 left. Carolina's defense looked confused and called time, so it's going to be a 3rd and 7. Always seems the first quarters of these games take a while. A 10-yard throw, Manning to Falk, and the pass may have touched the ground. We will challenge it because there's a 98% chance that it did.
Upon further review, the ball touched the ground before being secured. Incomplete. No timeout will be charged.
We use our challenge, but we do not lose the timeout. So, with that, Colts punt. 4th and 7 at the 23. Something happened here on the punt. We will know in a moment after the crazy animation finishes up. And yeah, the Colts got the ball back. Oliver fumbled it. Lilia pounced on it. And now the Colts move up to the Carolina 30 for a new set of downs, 1st and 10. Anthony Johnson out of Notre Dame picking up 4 yards. Tackle made by Julius Peppers, who I believe went on and played with the Green Bay Packers. 2nd and 6 at the 26. And that's Falk, a 1-yard loss. 3rd and 7 at the 27. Peyton Manning, incomplete. Earlier in the week, or the 2 parts of this week, first part we did last week and the second part we are doing this, we saw Eli Manning playing for New York. His team advanced into the Eastern Final. They'll get Washington in the second of the 4 conference final games we'll have for you on. This particular game will be January 5th. Field goal try, Vandercheck, and he pushed it left again. No good from 44 yards. And the Panthers get it back with 1:44 to go now in the final quarter, first quarter. I was thinking of an F word. Sweep right, D'Angelo Williams. And he loses 2 as the blocking wasn't there and Washington made the tackle. A 2nd and 12 at the 32. We'll call Newton's number on a sweep to the right side with a blitz coming. And Newton has 3 yards. Final minute now of the third quarter on a 3rd and 9. Medium pass to LaFell. Blitz coming. And a fumble. Picked up by Brockemeyer. But a 10-yard loss. And it's 4th and 19. We will not run another play. We'll go to the second quarter, a 7-0 Carolina lead. They have 69 yards on 15 plays so far. And Indianapolis 13 on 65. 13 for 65. Nortman will punt. 4th and 19. I always want to think that's Norman and not Nortman, but Wilkins, a return of 9 yards, the punt going 47, and the net was 38. A very slight wind on this 58-degree day. Is it 58 or 59? 58, okay. So Indianapolis will have the wind advantage for quarters 2 and 3, and then Carolina gets it back for the 4th. 1st and 10 from the 37. The Colts only down a touchdown. Johnson on a screen pass, a nice one, 16 yards. Coochley making the tackle for Carolina. 1st and 10 at the Carolina 47. And Peyton, a 3-yard gain. Davis making the tackle. 2nd and 7 at the 44. Carolina, they're on the plus side of the field. Johnson again, recipient of another screen pass, gaining 7. Good for the first down at the 37. See what Manning can do here. He throws, completed to Clark, and Manning has started 7 for 10, 86 yards. Cam Newton off to a slower start, 4 for 9, 31 yards and the touchdown. 1st and 10 at the 18 now as Indianapolis has entered the red zone, and they don't stay there very long. Marshall Faulk with the touchdown. And we have a 1-point game, 7-6. Your point after, good by Vanderjagt. And we are tied 7-7, 11:45 left in the half. Back to Carolina, it's Goodson back, returning this one. Let's see how nice of a return it was. It went 30 yards to the 32. So back comes Cam Newton. He'll pitch it out to Williams, an outside run. And Williams will gain a little bit, 4 yards. Setting up a 2nd and 6 at the 36-yard line. Williams, pitch right. As Carolina tries to establish that perimeter running game, looked like the Colts were playing for the pass, which never came to be. A 13-yard gain for D'Angelo, 7 carries and 62 yards for him. Short slant to Steve Smith, and that's caught for 6 yards on 1st and 10 to make it 2nd and 4. Great speed Smith has. I sound like Yoda there. Back to him on the short out, but we're going to change that to a slant to Muhammad with the blitz coming. Incomplete, a marker.
Pass interference, defense. Number 34, automatic. 1st down.
Figured that had to be pass interference. That was on Buchanan. A 1st and 10 at the Colt 29. 9:17 now left. Dive for Williams, which was a bad call because the Colts were playing tight. A gain of minus a yard, so it was actually a loss. Out to LaFell on 2nd and 11. Manning was, not Manning, but Newton was forced out of the pocket. He threw it to Williams. Gain of 3. 3rd and 8. Funchess comes in as a 4th wide receiver. In fact, they're going to go to Smith on 3rd and 8. And Newton sacked by Bickett. Great quickness shown by Bickett there. A 4-yard loss. Only a 48% chance Sly hits this field goal from 48, but he got it. It's 10-7 in favor of the Panthers. We have now 7:04 left in the opening half. 1st and 10 at the 35. As I record this, the Rams and the Seahawks have begun play. And let's see, 1st and 10 at the 35 for the kickoff, of course. 1st and 10 at the 20. The Steelers just clinched the northern title. 1st and 10 at the 20. Title of the AFC North in real life 2020. Gain of 7. Beeson tackles Johnson. Johnson now has 3 catches for 30 yards. Manning has started 8 for 11 for 93. And a penalty.
Encroachment, defense. Number 90, 5-yard penalty.
Encroachment against Peppers. And it's 1st and 10 at the 32. Marshall Faulk, a 4-yard gain. Harris making the tackle for the Panthers. Panthers got their franchise started by playing home games at Clemson's football stadium in South Carolina before moving to Charlotte for their 2nd year and every year afterward. So far, 2nd and 6 at the 36, a gain of 3 for Marshall Faulk. The stadium that they play in Charlotte has had a few names over the years. I think it was Ericsson Stadium at one point, then Bank of America Stadium. 3rd and 3 at the 39. But that's the way things are in the corporate world of the NFL. Johnson in the flat, a pickup of 4 more yards and a 1st down for the Colts as they move the chains. We have 4:36 left, 5th play of the drive for the Colts. Faulk, a screen, picking up 9. And Manning now 10 out of 13. 2nd and 2. Still on the minus side of the field. But not for long, as that's a throw to Faulk. And Manning keeps dinking and dunking the ball down the field. First and 10 now at the plus side to Carolina 45. Falk. A few more yards. 4 more. Time now becoming an enemy in this situation. 2:37 left in the half. A 2nd and 6. Looking for T.Y. Hilton, but he couldn't hold on, even though it looked like he had the defender beat. So now 3rd and 6 at the 41. Manning, incomplete. Looking for Clark, Dallas Clark. I'll watch for the fake here. And there was no fakery. Punt goes out of bounds by McAfee, Pat McAfee, to the 11. The punt going 30 yards. 2:23 left in the half. And we're going to run the option here, folks. And we're going to give it to Cam Newton. Want Newton to keep the ball. And a gain of 2. Washington hurt, the outside linebacker, or one of them. So Johnny Cooks comes in, and we'll substitute for him. He's a 7 outside linebacker. Sweep, Williams on 2nd and 8. Carolina not looking like they're in any hurry with the 10-7 lead. And the Colts call time. They sense the Panthers lollygagging. So a 2-yard gain for Williams. That sets now a 3rd and 6. We'll go Olsen on the short cross. Greg Olsen. Incomplete.
Offsides. Defense. Number 93, 5-yard penalty.
Freeney. And the offsides gives Carolina new hope. And Newton's just going to try to dive over for the first down. And did he get it? He got it. 2 yards. Colts have 1 timeout. The Panthers have 2 as we go to the 2-minute warning. It is 10-7. Carolina. Muhammad. Medium hitch on 1st and 10 from the 22. That's a catch, and that went to Muhammad. It was fumbled, recovered by Olsen. Buchanan forced a fumble, and that's a pickup of 13. And Panthers are going to go no huddle here, or they're going to hurry up. They are going to huddle. Medium out Muhammad, 1st and 10 from the 35. Incomplete. Now they'll go Williams, sweep right. 2nd and 10 at the 35. Williams gets the first down. Pick up a 13. And in fact, he got out of bounds, saving the Panthers from using one of their 2 timeouts left. Muhammad, medium out. 1st and 10 at the 48. Incomplete throw. Newton's off to a little bit of a slow start. He's 7 of 14, 53 yards, and a touchdown. Sweep right, D'Angelo. 2nd and 10. A marker down. We'll check that.
Offsides. Defense. Number 50, 5-yard penalty.
That is Bickett with the offsides. 2nd and 5. The ball at the 47 of Indianapolis now. Still a minute 12 to go. 9th play of the drive, so they've been calling a lot of plays, but not using up a lot of clock. We'll screen it to D'Angelo here. On 2nd and 5 at the 47. Incomplete. Newton could not find Williams, so now 3rd and 5. They'll short pass it to Muhammad. Pass incomplete. So that was an 11-play drive that only took a minute 22. Nortman, let's try to get the names right here, Paulie. We'll try to soft shoe this in. And that is out of bounds at the 4. Nice job for Nortman. And the Colts take over with 55 seconds left in the first half. At the 4, their own 4. Falk, pick up a 5. Just to make things difficult, I'm going to use some timeouts. 2nd and 5 at the 9. Falk, Short of the first, I'll use another timeout. 3rd and a yard. Johnson gets the first down. Now they can do whatever the heck they want. Johnson's off. 50. Gain of 41, which is why maybe I shouldn't have been using my timeouts. I got a little cute there. Colts are out of theirs. Colts have a challenge left in this game, and the Panthers do not. 1st and 10 at the 46. Incomplete. 2nd and 10, same spot, the 46 of Carolina. So they're only about 15 yards out of field goal range. Johnson down the left sideline, a gain of 13. He stepped out of bounds. 16 seconds left to go. They're going to bring Brandercheck on to try a field goal from 50. This would tie the game. And again, Vandercheck pushes it left. He has done that 3 times in a row. That leaves the Panthers some time. 11 seconds left. And we're going to go medium out. And we're going to look to Muhammad. Newton. He runs it here. And unless he scores, nothing's going to change. 21 seconds. That's the half. 21-yard gain for Newton. So we have reached halftime. It is 10-7 Carolina. I'm going to take a brief break. And in the meantime, you take a look at this. These are the upcoming games for the week ahead and the afterwards. And welcome back. Getting ready to start the second half play in this first of 2 Southern Conference semifinals. It's the 3-seed Indianapolis Colts and the number 2 Carolina Panthers. Indianapolis finished their regular season 7-9. The Panthers went 8-8. Right now, the Colts 32 plays, 225 yards. The Panthers with 143 on 30 plays. Indianapolis gets the ball to start the second half. It is Wilkins back deep with Vernon and Bentley. If we wind up tight at the end of 4 quarters, we have unlimited sudden death, as is the case in the playoffs. 1st and 10 at the 24. That's how they used to do it. Of course, nowadays it's like what I like to call the golden touchdown, where if you score a touchdown on your first possession, that's the game. Otherwise, if you kick a field goal, the other team gets the chance to equalize it. 1st and 10 at the 24, or score a touchdown and do better. Clark with a long catch, 34 yards. Manning, very accurate, 13 of 19, 156 yards. 1st and 10 at the Carolina 42, but...
False start. Offense, number 88, 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Marvin Harrison gets called for the false start. Boy, was he a great player. 1st and 15 at the 47. Of course, he's in the Hall of Fame, so I don't say that facetiously at all. Falk, an incompletion. Manning the Falk was the intended receiver. Coochley tipped it. It's now 2nd and 15 at the 47. Quick throw to Harrison.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24, automatic. First down.
And they get Norman for pass interference. Norman, is that you? 1st and 10 at the 41 of Carolina now, as the Colts just need a field goal to tie it, and anything better would give them the lead. Manning back to throw, looking. Intercepted. And that was Beeson.
The previous play is under review.
Likely not to stand.
The ruling on the field is confirmed.
Well, no, it does stand. They were looking to see if Beeson had caught it. He did. And John Beeson, his first interception of the playoffs. And the Panthers, now in excellent shape due to the 34-yard return, a 1st and 10 at the 41. Smith, long fly, play action. We'll go for the throat right here. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 at the 41. A trap to the left side. A fumble recovered by whom? Norwell. of Carolina, and the play in total gained 3. That makes it now a 3rd and 7 at the 38. They'll spread the field, and they're going to look for a short pass to Olsen. And Olsen catches it, a first down, a pickup of 13. That keeps the drive alive for the Panthers, who lead 10-7. They'll get the winner of New Orleans and Houston, which we will play for you tomorrow night, beginning at 7:30, right here on most of these HTFL stations, as I like to jokingly say. Big Paulie's World of Sports Sim channel. A sweep right, D'Angelo Williams, a pickup of 4. And it's 2nd and 6. We'll have the New Year's Eve game, which is going to be San Diego, San Francisco. We'll have that up at noon Eastern Time, 5 o'clock GMT. Pitch right, D'Angelo Williams. That'd be 9 a.m. Pacific if you're out on the West Coast. Brackett was hurt on the last play, a 3-yard loss by Williams. 3rd and 9, so again, Carolina will spread the field at the Colt 24 to look to LaFell on a medium out, but we're going to change that to a slant. 3rd and 9. Caught by LaFell inside the 10, a gain of 18. 1st and goal at the 6. Going scored their first and only touchdown so far on a pass. Dive, Williams, back to the line. Actually, he gained a yard, so it'll be 2nd and goal at the 5. Should we go to Goings again? Let's see here. We'll go trap right going. This one just try it once. But a blitz is being called, so we'll slant it into Smith, hopefully. Incomplete, but
Pass interference. Defense. Number 38, automatic. 1st down.
Daniel called for the PI. It's now a 1st and goal at the 2. Carolina going full house. It's Williams, Stewart, and Goings, the 3 running backs. And we're going to look to Newton on the sweep. He's got 6 points. Touchdown, Carolina. Cam Newton out of Auburn. This will likely stand.
Ruling on the field is confirmed.
It is now 16-7 Carolina. The extra point good by Sly, and it is 17-7 Carolina. 9:12 left. 3rd quarter. Carolina will hope that Houston wins if this score holds, or this result holds, so they would get a home game against the Oilers. Gain of 26. And with the HTFL team in Houston, they decided to call themselves the Oilers. So it's the Oilers and the Saints tomorrow, not the Texans. 1st and 10 at the 31. Manning. Now with work to do, incomplete, looking for Harrison. Norman tipped that. And it's 2nd and 10 at the 31. A lot of people thinking course to 7 and 9. The Colts were very fortunate to make the playoffs and be in a pretty bad conference. A gain of 3 by Anthony Johnson on the catch. He has now, well, we can't show you his stats because they have substituted a 3rd receiver in on this 3rd and 7 play. Harrison, Wayne, and Hilton in, and that's a screen to Falk for a 3-yard loss. Colts will have to punt it away on 4th and 10 from the 31. Pretty good punt. Goes 50 yards by McAfee. Oliver returns at 5, and it is 1st and 10 Carolina at their own 24. We have 7:20 left now in the 3rd quarter. Off tackle right, Williams. Gain of a yard. Rams are leading the Seahawks 3-0 in the real-life NFL game going on at the moment as I tape this. Pitch right. But we're actually going to go long fly to Smith on 2nd and 8. 2nd and 9, make that. That's going to be incomplete. Some plays you could just tell with the animation what's going to happen with it before it does. 3rd and a 9er. No, not the 49ers. Short out to Muhammad. Instead, it was dumped off to Olsen, who gained 5, but 5 yards is 4 yards short of the first down. So Carolina will punt with the 17-7 lead. Here's Nortman punting into the wind, but the wind is slight. And the return by Wilkins is for 12 yards. And the Colts trail by 10 still, 1st and 10 at the 38, 5:45 left in the third. No gain for Johnson. Setting up 2nd and 10 at the 38. Marker down.
False start. Offense. Number 65, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Solt was adult and picked up the false start penalty. 2nd and 15. Ball to 33. Manning. Looking for Falk.
Roughing the passer. Defense. Number 31, 15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
That was Marshall with some undisciplined play. Now a 1st and 10 for the Colts at the 48. And that is a gain of 19 for Dallas Clark. He has 103 yards on the day. 5 catches. 1st and 10 at the 33. Another marker.
False start. Offense. Number 75, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
Hinton gets called for the false start. Now a 1st and 15 at the 38 of Carolina. Manning going deep. Caught by Hilton. A gain of 25 yards. Manning now 17 of 26, 200 yards, but 1 pick. 1st and 10 at the Carolina 13. As the Colts try to cut this to a 1-score game, that is Johnson, Anthony Johnson out of Notre Dame. Coochley making the tackle. The play gained 1 yard. 2nd and 9 at the 12. Manning, Clark, touchdown. Dallas Clark. And that's the first touchdown that Clark and Manning have hooked up on. 17-13, the Vanderjagt extra point goes through the uprights after 3 field goals being missed by Mike. 17-14, 2:28. You knew this game was going to get close. Goodson, Oliver, Stewart back deep. A short kick. Recovered by Indianapolis. It was an onside kick. Clarence Verdun with the recovery, and everybody in the stadium except the Colts got shocked by that. So the Colts keep possession, a 1st and 10 at the 48 with the surprise onside kick. Nicely done. Incomplete pass, looking for Falk. 2nd and 10 at the 48. Manning will scramble. Not really known for that in his career. A gain of 4 yards. Now a 3rd and 6 at the Carolina 48. That's a throw and a catch to Reggie Wayne, who gains 15 yards. 1st and 10 at the 33. Manning. Falk. Inside the 20. Gain of 17. That'll do it for the 3rd quarter. Carolina with 17 and Indianapolis with 14. 15 more minutes to go, unless we go to the dreaded sudden death. And Indianapolis has 352 yards on 47 plays. The Panthers 187 on 41. 1st and 10 at the 16. Manning, incomplete, looking for Anthony. Anthony Johnson. Not the Anthony from the Billy Joel song Moving Out. 2nd and 10 at the 16. Falk loses a yard. Rucker made the tackle. 3rd and 11 at the 17. A throw, an incompletion.
Offsides. Defense. Number 90, 5-yard penalty.
Peppers called for the offsides, giving Carolina another down. You don't want to give Manning too many chances. Incomplete. Looking for Falk was Manning. Minter jumped the route. So Vanderjagt now, a field goal from 29, which would tie the game. This time he hits it. We're dead even at 17. We have yet to have a 3 seed beat a 2 seed in the HTFL playoffs here in Season 1, but we have had twice the 4 seed beat the 1 seed. Goodson back deep. For the Panthers, he will return it because it didn't reach the goal line to return 26 to the 28. And Cam Newton and company will set up shop there. They're going to bootleg this first play, Newton. And it gained 3 yards. Washington on the tackle. That's a lot of running around just to gain 3 yards. D'Angelo on a dive, 2nd and 7. 13:50 left in the fourth. And he goes straight ahead and picks up 5. Carolina going to beef it up, and they're going to go three tight ends, and they're going to look to D'Angelo off tackle right. He got the first to pick up a 4. This is Goings on a screen, 1st and 10 at the 40. He's open, and he picked up 7 yards. Daniel hurt on the last play, one of the corners. His return being probable, a toe injury. David Macklin, you see him there, a 6 corner, comes into the game. He will be up against Muhsin Muhammad. So that's where we're going to throw the ball. Play action. Post. On 2nd and 3. Looks like he's got him beat. He does. Touchdown, Carolina. Muhammad gives the Carolina Panthers a 6-point lead, about to be 7. No good. Sly missed it left. And remember, in the HTFL, we used the traditional extra point placement, regardless of whether it's a kick or a run or pass. Going for 1, going for 2, you still do. The line of scrimmage is still the same place. It's not this, you kick an extra point from the 15-yard line jazz. So it's 23-17 in favor of the Panthers. Keep that in mind as we go down the waning minutes of the game. Wilkins back deep for the Colts, but this is a touchback. Kick found the end zone. 1st and 10 at the 20. This is Falk gaining 3. Falk now with 57 yards on the day. Rushing, he has 39 receiving on 6 throws. 2nd and 7 at the 23. That's an incomplete pass. Manning is 20 for 33, 244. Interception and a touchdown. 3rd and 7. Screen. Falk. He'll have the first down. He'll have a lot more than that. Tried 21 yards. Norman finally caught up to him at the 44. 1st and 10 at the 44. But that extra point that was missed by the Panthers looming large. Gain of 9. Manning to Clark. Clark now with 7 catches and 124 yards on the day. Now into Carolina territory. Johnson did not pick up the first down. He needed just 1 yard, but picked up 0. Ken Dilger, who would go on and later play for the Bucks, in as a second tight end. It's 3rd and 1 at the 47. And Falk loses a yard. I'll watch for a fake here on 4th and 2 at the Carolina 48. Off the side of his foot, McAfee, the penalty going 33 out to the 15. 7:47 to go in a 23-17 Carolina lead. D'Angelo inside, 1st and 10, into the secondary, and a gain of 11. That gets into 108 on the day. Actually 17 yards, a 17-yard gain. 1st and 10 at the 32. Halfway through the 4th quarter, we're going to pitch it right to D'Angelo. We got a double tight end set. Gain of 2. Marcus Washington, his 10th tackle of the day. A 2nd and 8. Don't be late. Goings off tackle left just to give D'Angelo a little bit of a breather. Gain of 4. So a 3rd and 4 here. Panthers will slow it down. They'll look to Smith on the short pass. That's incomplete. And Smith was double covered. And now Panthers have to punt. The Carolina Panthers have to punt. Nortman. And the punt looked like about a normal-sized punt, 47 yards. Wilkins returned at 7. Pierre Garçon comes in as a 4th wide receiver for the Colts. So let's set the receiver setup. Hilton, the left split end, Harrison in the slot, Wayne in the right slot, and Garçon the right split end. 1st and 10 at the 22. For the Colts, they only trail by 6. Incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 now at the 22. That's a throw and a catch to Garçon, who picks up 13. 1st and 10 at the 35. Wayne, 1st down, pickup of 10. 4:25 now left in the game. Unless we go overtime, gain of 4, and Manning goes over 300. A 2nd and 6 at the 49 of the Colts. So they got to get 2 yards to get to the plus side of the field. Incomplete. That was intended for Falk. 3rd and 6 at the 49 with 4:03 to go. Falk overthrew him, incomplete. And with 3:54 left, Colts are going to punt on 4th and 6 at their own 49. Each team with all 3 timeouts. I'm going to watch for the fake, which never comes. McAfee punted at 37 yards to the 14. 3:47 left. We're in crunch time now. Off tackle right, Williams, who's had a good day, and he picks up 4 to get to 114 on 20 carries. Mathis makes the tackle. We'll go Goings. Sweep left side. 2nd and 6. Loss of 2. Now let's see here, 3rd and 8 at the 16. I'm still going to run it. I'm going to go Newton. Sweep to the right side. Gain of 5. 2:14 left. And I will run it down to the 2-minute warning. 4th and 3 at the 21. Nortman will punt. And Carolina defense will have to hold him. 48 yards, no return. Here comes Peyton Manning. 1st and 10 at the 31. Trying to prove he's one of the great quarterbacks of all time. Gain of 3.
Grabbing the face mask.
And 15
Defense.
more.
Number 90, 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Peppers grabbing the face mask. It's now 1st and 10 at the 49. Over the middle, Marshall Faulk. Gain of 16 if it holds. It does not.
Number 65, 10-yard penalty.
Solt adult again. 1st and 20 at the 39. Manning. Incomplete. Overthrew Faulk. It's now 2nd and 20 at the 39. Manning now 25 out of 42 with 301 yards. Manning, incomplete, looking for Wayne, Reggie Wayne. 2nd and 20 at the 39. Hilton catches this one. Pickup of 16. And now here you go. 4th and 4. Ball at the 45 of Carolina. They'll go for it, obviously. Caught by Wayne, a gain of 7. And it's a timeout called by the Colts. They have 2 left. The Panthers with 3. Manning. Wayne again. Another gain of 13. Wayne has, let's see here, 4 catches for 45 yards. Manning up to 337 on the day. 1st and 10 at the 25. Manning looked for Wayne that time. He dropped the pass. 53 seconds left. 2nd and 10. Ball to 25. Incomplete. 3rd and 10. Getting down to the short strokes now. Incomplete, looking for Falk. Manning threw it away, and Carolina wanted a intentional grounding call. So this is your game, perhaps. 4th and 10 at the 25. Wayne again. A clutch play on 4th down. He gains 16. The ball is now at the 9. Colts still have 2 timeouts left. 1st and goal at the 9. Manning. Falk, touchdown. Marshall Falk may have just put the Colts in the Southern Finals with that catch. Your score is now tied. 23-all with 29 seconds to go. All they need is an extra point, and Vanderjagt has put it through. The Colts, 29 seconds away from a possible victory. They lead 24-23. The Panthers could be facing a long winter here if they can't get a score. Here is Goodson back deep. Takes it outside his 5. A nice return. 36 yards to the 43. They could use all the field. They could use the middle. They could use the sidelines because they have all 3 timeouts. 17 seconds left to go. Slant to Smith. He's open. And he gains 13. 9 seconds to go. The Panthers will call timeout. Now, if you are Carolina, do we dare try a quick pass here? We're going to do it. Cross your fingers that, let's see here. If it's any kind of run, the game would be over because 9 seconds is not enough to run a play. We're going to go Hail Mary. And we're going to look to Steve Smith. This could be it. There's the throw. Incomplete. 3 seconds left. They have time for one more play. And it will be the same play. It'll be the Hail Mary. They'll look to Muhammad. Everybody's got to be playing back for the Colts. And here we go. Who advances to the Southern Final? There it is. Incomplete. The Colts are going to go to the Eastern Final. A 24-23 win on the road. 7-9. Don't matter. Carolina will finish 8-9 on the year. And that missed extra point did in the Panthers. On the 53-yard throw from Newton to Muhammad with 11:24 left in the 4th, and then Manning threw to Falk with 29 seconds left for the win. Team stats. Both teams were perfect in the red zone, though the Colts kicked 1 field goal. They had 474 yards, Carolina 302. The Colts had it for 32-21 to the Panthers 27-39. 16 penalties in the game. We had 73 plays for the Colts, 51 of them were passes. 56 plays for Carolina, 29 were runs. Player stats. Newton actually had the better day, 13-27, a $162, 2 touchdowns, but Manning, 30 of 51, 362 yards, 1 pick, 2 touchdowns. Leading rusher was D'Angelo Williams, 20 carries, 114 yards. Falk caught the most passes, 8 for 69, but Clark had the most receiving yards, 7 for 124. And the leading tackler of the game was Washington of the Colts with 10. They will move on and face whoever wins between Houston and New Orleans. If it's Houston, Indianapolis will host it. If New Orleans wins, it'll be the Colts traveling to New Orleans. That'll be our game tomorrow, New Orleans and Houston, and then we got a big one Wednesday night, Kansas City and Los Angeles. And San Diego, San Francisco, the day after New Year's Eve. We'll have that game up for you on about 12. We'll try to get it up 12 noon on New Year's Eve so all of you can enjoy the New Year's Eve festivities, such as they will be in 2020. And then we come back the following week and do the conference finals. We already have Minnesota and Baltimore playing each other on Monday the 4th. Washington and the Giants play each other on the 5th. So I hope you enjoyed this past hour or so. We had a whale of a game. It was 24-23 Indianapolis over Carolina. So the 3 seed moves on. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. We wish you well no matter where you are and when you see this. Godspeed and God bless. We'll do it all again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.